Okay, I'm activating TV coverage and communication on channel 2. Copy.
Final farewells. First, NASA Scott Tingle, now Norishige Kanai of JAXA. And the new station commander, Anton Shkaplerov, saying farewell to Misurkin, Acaba, and Vande Hei, who will momentarily make their way through the hatch into the Soyuz MS-06 spacecraft to close the hatch and make final preparations to suit up and undock from the International Space Station just about 3 hours and 13 minutes from now.
Как слышите? Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо. Отлично. Так, Антон, правильно говорю? Понимаю, я первый закрываю наш люк по БСУ. Может, давайте, да, втроем? Втроем сюда вылетите. Ну, 3 heads. Да. Сюда, you can come here. This camera. I take picture 3 hands. 3 hands. Yeah. Smile. Look happy. Супровском КС канале Г2.
The Soyuz on autonomous power, with the crew about to close the hatch on the Soyuz side of the docking interface with the Poisk module. You see Anton Shkaplerov, he'll be wiping down the hatch seal interface that is customary to make sure there's no foreign object debris that would cause a problem with the leak checks that will take place before the vestibule, the short passageway at the interface between the Soyuz and the station once it is depressurized down to vacuum.
Антон, можно приступать к закрытию? Я вас понял. Разрешили. Давайте, счастливо. Хорошей дороги, мягкой посадки.
And Shkaplerov has now closed the hatch on the Poisk side of the docking interface.
Альтаиры от нижнего зала, спасибо за работу, за прекрасные полгода. Штат расстыковка и мягкие посадки. Ждем вас на земле.
This is Mission Control Houston. Now official confirmation that both hatches are closed at 1:58 p.m. Central Time, 2:58 p.m. Eastern Time. So the crew continuing to move along the way on the timeline. About 15 minutes from now, the crew on both sides of the hatch interface will conduct vestibule leak checks. The Soyuz crew, now behind that closed hatchway, that being Misurkin, Vande Hei, and Acaba, will then begin to don their Sokol launch and entry suits, conduct suit leak checks as they move along the timeline that will lead to the undocking of the Soyuz MS-06 spacecraft from Poisk about 3 hours and 10 minutes from now. Undocking is scheduled again at 5:08 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time.
Image, it is stable.
Undocking is confirmed.
Complete.
Undocking confirmed at 5:08 p.m. Central Time, 6:08 p.m. Eastern Time, as the Soyuz MS-06 and the International Space Station flew 252 statute miles over southeastern Mongolia. Alexander Misurkin, Joe Acaba, Mark Vande Hei on the first leg of the trip home.
We are standing by for your confirmation. Yes, Gosha, copy that. As soon as we get it, I will report it. Could you please send R5 command from the first panel? Mark, R5 command. Could you please send it? We are seeing the docking interface, and we do not see any foreign objects on the docking interface. Okay, R5 command is sent. Thank you, Mark. We are receiving a very clear picture, very clear image. We are standing by for the first burn. Yes.
Again, undocking occurring at 5:08 p.m. Central Time. Expedition 55 now officially underway aboard the International Space Station. As we stand by for the first of two separation burns, this will be an automated 8-second burn of 4 of the Soyuz thrusters to increase its opening rate by 0.5 of a meter per second.
Okay, could you please send R8 command transition to the wide angle lens? Copy. D7, yes. I confirm D7 command. In 20 seconds, we're standing by for the first burn.
Now a wide-angle view from the external Soyuz television camera. Just below the crosshairs, you can see the Poisk module docking port from which the Soyuz just separated. Undocking again occurring at 5:08 p.m. Central Time. And the first of the two separation burns underway. This is an 8-second burn.
It is not illuminated anymore.
And that burn now complete, everything nominal. And the Soyuz now going into a roll program for the correct orientation for the second of the two burns coming up about 90 seconds from now, which will be a 15-second burn to further increase its opening rate from the station by 1.5 meters per second.
We see the joint GSO in attitude. Yes, we confirm. We also see joint GSO.
-20
20 seconds till the second burn. We confirm. Depot operation is on.
The second in the pair of separation burns now underway. This again a 15-second firing of the thrusters. And the second of the two separation burns complete. Everything looked great. So the opening rate now increasing between the Soyuz and the International Space Station. You see the full complex in view from the Soyuz external cameras as both vehicles pass over the far eastern coast of Russia over the Sea of Okhotsk. And there's a view of the Soyuz from external cameras on the International Space Station.
Now we have transitioned to the first manifold and sending the 8 command. Copy. So SSVP is deactivated and V18 command is being sent. Copy. Okay, we will input data for settings for the descent. Copy. The indicator is not illuminated. Copy. We are deactivating the headlight. The headlight is off, and we are transferring a route controller to transport position.
Again, this view, as the station and Soyuz have passed into an orbital sunrise of the Soyuz MS-06, which undocked from the International Space Station about 7 minutes ago. The Soyuz, with Alexander Misurkin, Joe Acaba, and Mark Vande Hei on board, will move to a position about 12 miles away from the International Space Station for the deorbit burn that is scheduled just under 2 hours and 23 minutes from now.
Mark, please make sure that my spacesuit is not touching this handle. So we have uploaded the settings for descent, and we have the indicator descent illuminated, and we are ready to send the G4 command. Copy. Inaudible. We sent G4 command. Copy. Now
and a better view now of the Soyuz MS-06. Its solar arrays clearly in view. Again, the Soyuz comprised of 3 sections. The uppermost section is the orbital module, which has been depressurized in advance of the pyrotechnic separation of the 3 sections of the Soyuz following the deorbit burn later this evening.
So the pressure.
The crew is strapped into their respective seats in the middle section, with Misurkin in the center seat, flanked on his left by Vande Hei and by Acaba on his right. The bottommost section is the instrumentation and propulsion module, which will have exhausted its lifetime of usefulness after the deorbit burn that's coming up in 2 hours and 21 minutes.
We consumed 9 kilograms of propellant.
Trying to find the vertical piece. I did not unlock the Sasha, Mark, Joe.
Sasha, Mark, and Joe. This is Anton. I wish you a successful flight. We are already missing you. Thank you, Georgi. This is not Georgi. This is Anton. Anton, you probably will be rich. Because I did not recognize your voice. All right. We also wish you a successful flight on board the station, and we will be standing by for the pictures from the outer space. We'll be seeing you on the ground. Thank you. Well, this is MCC Moscow. We are not saying goodbye yet. We still have work to do. Altair.
There we go.
Right now, we don't have a lot to do for a while.
Okay, I see some wire. It doesn't on the way. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston, that conversation between Anton Shkaplerov and the crew on board the Soyuz MS-06. They're tied together for the time being by a VHF communications link. Shkaplerov indicating to the crew on board the Soyuz, we already miss you. And flight controllers of the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov indicating we still have work to do. That work in front of everybody involved here includes the deorbit burn 2 hours and 18 minutes from now. That will lead to a landing of the Soyuz on the steppe of south-central Kazakhstan 3 hours and 11 minutes from now at 8:31 p.m. Central Time.
Mark, is it okay? Yes, it's okay. Thank you, Mark.
Down in Kazakhstan, the weather forecast for landing calls for an overcast ceiling at 700 feet. Visibility will be somewhat diminished, 3 statute miles, and light fog with a few snowflakes in the air. Winds out of the southwest, 12 knots gusting to 18, and a temperature of about 30 degrees Fahrenheit at landing time, which is not too bad for late February, given Kazakhstan weather conditions, which are very dynamic this time of the year.
Кабель давай. Ты обойдешь ведь? Лицом туда обойди. Ты не хватит. От тебя идет репортаж. Да, я сейчас просто перехожу.
Первого
Форма установлена. Готовимся к открытию вертолета. Медицинского вертолета пока нет, поэтому эвакуировать пока не будем.
Да, здесь кресло лицом туда будет.
Sasha had me walk over there with him, and that's where he put his stuff. So I think.
Сейчас, они же кресло само здесь. Просто ленту подать. Она внутри. Сейчас я тебе дам твою большую рацию, сразу ее настрою, только на безвертикулу. Градусов. 21 минута. 36 минут. Запятая 4:06. Значит, медицинский вертолет сел, медицина подходит, на подходе палатка.
Ты с кем сейчас? Помогу вам? Ну все, окончательное решение, уходим на Dzhezkazgan.
Дал вам команду.
Да. Значит,
Так, его докладывает экипаж. Готовимся к эвакуации.
и вот для этого...
Так, сейчас командир пойдет. Аккуратно, аккуратно. Сан Саныч, вперед. Аккуратно.
Саня, ты что уголь грузил?
Полгода! А что он так высоко летает? Как вы думаете?
Сейчас я давление замерю и потом ручки.
Да, конечно.
Я одни только чувствую.
А вы туда сделали?
Там все нормально.
Water. Hey. No. It's
I got your watch. I'll hang on to your watch.
All right.
Ты еще долго будешь, поэтому я попозже сейчас прошу поступать по грузам где-то. Там же были изменения у нас по срочным грузам и по там всяким этим романам и так далее.
Во-первых, тот, который файл передача, он в нештатных ситуациях в карманчике лежит.
Ага, понятно.
Все остальное, это мы давайте я вам... Вообще я файл скидывал по Владимировичу, он должен быть передать по команде.
Красный рюкзак. Красный рюкзак.
Давление 83.
Нет, тут нормально.
Нет, давление.
Пить хочешь?
Как? 155 на 80. Пульс 70, у вас такая, да.
Все нормально, все хорошо.
Акаба. Акаба 135 на
Там получили или нет?
Не, нормально. Самое главное, чтобы ты не заметил.
Главное, чтобы было хорошо.
Сюда? Готов как
Ира, щелкни, пожалуйста, сошла.
Прямая трансляция. Нужно оценить, как проходила посадка, как ваше самочувствие.
Хорошо.
Хорошо, супер.
Да. Ну что, вот мы уже и очень рады вас видеть. Спасибо.
Yeah, it's awesome. Although the primary smell out here is the smell of a very hot spacecraft.
Yeah.
Чё палатка? Oh no, it's rhinoceros. It's but the nice level there is awesome. Да, чё с палаткой? Все понял? Да, собирай. Фотографию сели, да? А где у меня? Андрей, вода сюда быстрее. I slept a lot.
Ну это работает.
Все, я набрать уже. Ну все, давай. Все.
Давай, может, я бы сам пошел.
Нет.
Давай.
Половину, а потом я. Нет. Обратно так. Чкаловском выйдете на лошади. I need a bunch to grab him. Okay. Yeah, I'm done. You want to get through?
Снял какого-то? Первый раз за все время.
Я пока выключаюсь, или иду в палатку, там снимают медицину, тебе звоню, сообщаю. Вот они, вот листаешь.